Chapter 24. Jenna knelt beside Grayson, pressing her hand against his wound as hard as she could. She had to stop the blood. There was so much. She had to stop it. "Don't you dare die! I will not be known as the crazy employee who finished you off." Tears blurred her vision, but she held tight. She couldn't remember who she knocked out of the way on her race to help Grayson, but she knew they were all behind her. Someone's shirt was wrapped around Grayson's shoulder, drenched in blood. He was unconscious, sprawled on his back with a crimson halo. Sirens screamed in the distance. It seemed as though it was only a blink of time before she was nudged out of the way by a swarm of blue. A blanket wrapped around her, and a bottle of water was pressed in her blood-stained hands. She clung to it.
"Jenna,"
Remy said, stooping so she could see his face.
"we're heading to the hospital. Do you want to come with us, or can I take you home?"
"I'm coming," Jenna said, gulping down her fear and shaking away the fog. "Who's with Grayson?"
"David is with him. You did good,"
he said, clamping a hand on her shoulder. She didn't feel like she did good. Grayson was shot because of her. She was no better than the other employees who shot the poor man. He needs to quit working. Employees are bad for his health. Remy cracked a smile.
"He might think differently. You can ask him later."
He hauled Jenna to her feet, bracing her as her knees wobbled.
"Need a lift to the car?"
"I'm fine. Just give me a moment." Remy nodded and stood dutifully while she regained her senses that had been shattered by the sight of blood. So much blood. "Will he be okay?"
"There's only one way to find out."
Jenna gave a curt nod. "Let's go." Jenna sat numbly in a chair next to Grayson. He was alive and patched, but was still in critical condition. She had watched as Remy and David paced like caged lions in the waiting room, watched as the doctor came out to give them the news, and watched as Grayson slept.
"He looks uncomfortable with that scratchy beard. It must be tickling his neck,"
Maya said thoughtfully, her hand tucked into Grayson's on the opposite side of the bed. "He likes it," Jenna said. "I think I like it too." Maya smiled. "Do you think he'll forgive me?"
"For what?"
Maya asked, her eyes round. "For getting him shot. He told me about his past employees. He didn't really want me around either, and for good reason. Look, he's been shot again."
"Don't be silly. You didn't shoot him, and he's fine, just like always."
Jenna didn't think Grayson looked fine. His skin was gray and dewy.
"He's fine,"
Maya insisted, although her eyes were misty. David moved close to his wife and kissed her on the head.
"Time to go home.
"But I just got here."
You've been here for 2 hours.
"But..."
I'll make sure the doctor calls with updates."
Maya pouted. "I'll be here. I won't leave until he's awake."
"You don't have to do that. I can drive you home. You need sleep too. You've had a long day."
Jenna shook her head. "I'm staying."
"That's right."
Maya agreed. She stood and took David's arm, ushering him out the door.
"They'll be fine all by themselves."
Not too subtle, is she?
David smiled, earning a tisk from Maya.
Call us though, okay?
"I promise." David took one last look at Grayson before allowing Maya to whisk him away. Grayson still looked like wet ash. She slipped her hand into his and held tight, lowering her head to the bed to ease the pounding. She was so tired, but she knew sleep wouldn't come until Grayson woke. She heard footsteps enter the room. She didn't bother lifting her head. It was probably just the nurse doing her mandatory rounds.
"Jenna?"
She looked up to find a young man standing hesitantly in the doorway. "Adam!" Jenna stood, about to race over when Grayson's hand gripped hers. She looked down to see if he had woken up, but his lids were still heavy over his eyes, yet his hand wouldn't release hers. "Where have you been?" "Are you okay?" Jenna asked, rooted to her spot. Adam walked over and wrapped his arms around her. She hugged back with her one free arm.
"I'm fine now,"
he said, releasing her.
"I didn't think I'd ever be. I'm so sorry you were dragged into this."
"It wasn't your fault. You didn't know you picked up the wrong guitar case."
But when I found out, I got scared and threw it into the garbage. I should have known someone would come looking for it. I put everyone in danger.
And now it's over, right? New panic set in. Maybe it wasn't over.
It's over, but I don't know how I'm going to repay your boss.
Jenna looked at Grayson. I'll find a way,
You'll round up 16 million?
he scoffed. 16 million, Jenna sputtered. He nodded.
According to Sergio, that was what cleared the debt. That and the...
He gestured to Grayson's bandage. Dear Lord. Jenna sank into the chair. How are we going to repay him? I already owe money for clothes.
Is that what he bought you?
Adam asked, brow raised at her tiny outfit. His sister-in-law, don't bother asking. I'm too tired,
I'll let you get your rest then.
he said, stepping back. Don't you dare leave, Jenna scolded. You have a year to make up for, so start talking. Where have you been? Adam's smile was weary, but he pulled up a chair and talked for a good hour until Jenna's eyelids hung so heavy they were slits. He told her about the places he'd hidden in, always watching his back. He told her about Tanya and how she saved him a few times. They were going to get married. He loved her. She smiled. I'm happy for you. I'd like to get to know her better. And she meant it. She didn't know much about Tanya. She never seemed like the right woman for Adam. But it sounded like they both changed in the span of a harsh year. She's still on my list for not telling me where you were,
I told her not to. She argued with me about it.
he said, standing.
You can blame me for that one.
Jenna nodded. I will. He stooped to give Jenna a hug before walking to the door.
I'll be at Tanya's if you need me. I'll stop by later when he's awake.
He nodded toward Grayson.
I owe him an apology at the very least.
Grayson woke to the sounds of beeping and an ache in his shoulder. Damn, it hurt. He shifted, trying to ease the pain, but moving only made it intensify. Turn off the damn beeping, Grayson said, hearing his voice slur as if he were drunk. He cracked his eyes open, wincing as the light pierced.
It's about damn time.
Remy said, turning to face him with crossed arms.
I don't have all day to wait around on your sorry ass.
Grayson reached up to feel his shoulder.
You were shot. Now you've got a matching set.
Grayson groaned. Go away.
I will. Just came to check on you first.
I'm dying. Remy snorted.
It's a flesh wound.
It doesn't feel like a flesh wound.
Well, the bullet went clean through, so think of it as a double paper cut. Those hurt worse than a deep cut.
Grayson looked at his shoulder. I'd rather have the paper cut. Remy nodded.
I'm sure you'll get a few of those filling out the hospital forms.
Grayson let his head loll back. Is everyone accounted for?
Yep. David is at home. You're here. Sergio left yesterday.
Where did he go? Remy shrugged.
He's still got a war going on. Can't stop because one man is down.
He wasn't going to harm Jenna, was he?
Never thought he would.
Grayson's eyes rounded. Where's Jenna?
Next to you.
He scanned the room until his eyes fell on a crumpled bundle in the chair next to him, her hair mused in every direction. An arm stuck out of a blanket at an awkward angle. Is she okay? Grayson asked, wondering if his eyes were a bit off. She didn't look anything like his poised Jenna. She was adorably hideous.
She hasn't left your side for 2 days.
2 days?
Like I said, it's about damn time you woke your lazy ass up.
Remy said, opening the door to leave.
I'll be back in a week or 2. 3 if it gets ugly.
Where are you going? Remy paused before saying,
I've waited a long time for the past to catch up with me. It's time to rewrite it.
Grayson stared blankly at the door that Remy disappeared through. Rewrite it? He didn't know what Remy meant, and he was sure in his groggy state of mind that nothing made sense. He reached out and touched Jenna's hand. Well, maybe one thing made sense. His body sank into the bed, and he needed sleep. That made sense too. I'm getting out of bed, Grayson said to Jenna's squawking protests.
The doctor said you have to rest.
I can rest anywhere. It doesn't have to be in bed. He flipped back the covers, cringing at the abrupt movement.
See, you've already injured yourself.
I'm taking a shower. He stomped to the bathroom. If you continue to harp at me, I'm dragging you in. Jenna pinched her lips tight. He could tell she wanted to argue more, but he had had enough. The last week had been nothing but bickering. His head hurt, his body hurt, everything hurt. He wanted peace, not forever. 10 minutes would be great. He closed the bathroom door and turned the shower knob.
Don't get your shoulder wet.
He sighed and shut off the water. A soak in the hot tub would work better. It'd probably feel better too. He turned on the water and then the jets when it was full. Stripping off his shirt and pants, he sunk down as far as he could go without wetting his shoulder. He let his head rest against the cool porcelain while the rest of him was submerged in swirling heat. It was heaven.
I just have to ask him one question.
The demand was made just outside the bathroom door before it was whipped open. Can I help you? Grayson asked, not bothering with modesty.
We've hit a snag with the landscaping design.
Frankie said, sitting on the edge of the tub, obviously not bothered by immodesty either. I don't care about snags, Grayson said. Your queen fired me.
Mark fired you?
Grayson arched his brow.
Oh, you mean Jenna? She can't really fire you, can she?
I was knocked out on pain pills those first few days. She took over. Grayson rubbed his forehead. It can't be stopped.
I guess you're right. Let it go, right?
Frankie stopped and groaned.
The song Mark's been singing nonstop just invaded my brain.
Grayson closed his eyes and counted to 10. When he opened them again, Frankie was still there, humming. There was a reason you came in here. What is it?
Oh, right, so how set are you on your design? I've got this cousin who has a fabulous idea, and Mark has an idea or two.
Did you run any of these ideas past Jenna? Frankie nodded.
She's the snag.
Do it, Grayson said, a smile brewing.
Yay!
Frankie clapped.
Just wait until you see the mirror ball fountain. It'll knock your socks off. I'll go order it now. I bet I can have it here by tomorrow.
Grayson's smile grew. I can't wait to see it. He laughed out loud when Frankie left the room. By the time Frankie finished landscaping, the yard was going to look like a drag queen's fairy tale, and he didn't care. Not one single bit. It felt good, and suddenly he felt better. Perhaps it was time to pester Jenna again.